Well, what up, gang of Lane, Carolina Jackpot time coming at you. It is Thursday afternoon. Hope everyone is doing well today. Hope every single one of you is doing well. So, with the season fast approaching, we're 9 days away from the South Carolina Gamecocks toe meeting leather against Old Dominion. Looks like we've got some questions in the wide receiver room, namely Gage Larvadan, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. Young man who came over from Miami of Ohio. Pretty highly thought of transfer portal pickup for Beamer and staff in the winter portal recruiting cycle. Looks like he's dealing with some nagging injuries right now. Not really sure what those injuries are, but he's not been practicing, and Beamer is saying he's dealing with these nagging injuries, trying to heal up. So I don't know what that means. I don't know how long he's going to be out. Don't have any kind of timetable on his return. But him not being able to play is not good. He's kind of a slot type receiver, kind of stepping into that Amari Brown role. Player that we've had for several years there, transferred from Georgia Tech back in like the COVID year. Who was a slot type receiver who could take a short dunk type pass and take it for a long gain or take it to the house. We need someone like that on the roster, and Gage provides that. But he's not playing right now, and we're not really sure what's going on. Over on the message boards, a lot of the fan base, they're doing the whole the sky is falling routine. He won't play the rest of the year. This is what this means. No, well, that's not what the guy said. Right? He said he's got a timetable for his return. So hopefully that gets cleared up and he's back on the field sooner than later. Second one, Amari Huggins-Bruce, a guy who transferred in from Louisville during this last transfer portal cycle as well. He's not practiced Tuesday or Wednesday, apparently, according to the state newspaper. Looks like he's probably not with the team anymore. And from what I'm reading, there's some intel out there that he is trying to return to Louisville, which is where he came from. Now, in terms of his performance during fall camp, the staff really didn't think this guy was going to be a starter. They hoped that he would be able to provide some depth, maybe give some reps and spell some guys, but it doesn't even look like he's good enough to do that. So this may not be much of a loss, but at the same time, I don't know where we're at in 2024 anymore with these kids. I don't know what their mindset is anymore. Now, he's listed as a senior, but I looked at him. He's played in 2021, 22, and 23, and he played enough. He didn't use any red shirts, so one would think he probably still has a red shirt available. So what happens when somebody does this? There's no transfer portal window open right now, as far as I know. Maybe someone can correct me on that. But it doesn't open until after the season. What's like December the 2nd or 3rd or something, right after the conference championship games. That's like D-Day, when everybody's waiting to see who's going to jump into the portal. You can't get in it right now, as far as I know. So, like, what's he going to do? Is he just going to quit the team? And I mean, I don't know. Quit the team, go to class. Well, I don't know that a lot of these people go to class or not. And then, in December, hit the transfer portal again and possibly go back to Louisville and have a redshirt year this year? It doesn't make any sense. If you weren't going to play anyway, why wouldn't you just practice with the team, stay with them, and use this as a redshirt year if they're not going to let you play, if you're not good enough to play? But here's something else. Here's another novel concept. Why don't we do this? Why don't we work our ass off, get better, and become a backup at least, or maybe start some games? And, it's not like we're setting the world on fire with talent at the wide receiver position. And I don't know how limited his skill set is. I'm not exactly sure what they're looking for, but I feel like if he went out there and got on the jugs machine or whatever else they got to do, worked his ass off, I feel like he could probably work his way into the lineup in some shape, form, or fashion. But all signs point to this guy's not going to do that. He's going to take his ball and he's going to go home, and that's fine. I no one would ever see the day when somebody would just quits the team because they don't get to play. That's craziness to me. You look from one end of the spectrum. A couple of years ago, we saw Cody Schrader come out of some like Division III or school or some junior college in Missouri, want to be a Missouri Tiger. Come like approach Eli Drinkowitz about being a walk-on, like walking onto the team, working his freaking ass off to get on the team, and then when he got on the team, continuing to work his ass off until he worked his way into a starting position, and then continued to work his ass off and became a star. And I guarantee you this dude is probably inherently and athletically probably way more talented than what Schrader was. And that's not throwing shade at Schrader. It's just, look, I mean, this guy ended up at Louisville out of high school. The other kid ended up at like Division III Truman State. I mean, you do the math on that one. I mean, who was probably thought of as being the better prospect out of high school? But hard work, determination, refusal to give up. It can actually take you places. But this guy's not going to do that. So good luck to him. I don't know what he's got. Like I said, it's not confirmed that he's not with the team anymore, but you're not practicing. Nobody knows where you're at. And they asked Dowell Loggins his whereabouts, and he just said he would let Coach Beamer answer all the questions about the roster, which means I'm not saying, but it's not good. And then Coach Beamer's not going to answer them for you either. So that's where that guy stands. Big time recruit, it looks like. 4-star from South Carolina. Apparently going to, 3-star on 24/7 Sports. 4-star on the 24/7 Sports composite. So I was roasted a few weeks ago and told that means he's a 4-star. Okay, that means they're a 4-star if that's what it says. Apparently trending towards Tennessee, a young man out of Heathwood Hall High School in Columbia, South Carolina. Yet another kid getting away from the Columbia area that looks like they're going to become a Tennessee Vol. South Carolina did offer this guy. I don't know, if he ever visited. I don't know how far talks went. I don't know how serious South Carolina was about him. But it doesn't look like they're going to be getting him. And a lot of schools offered it, though. I looked at his offer list, and it was pretty much a who's who. There was no Clemson on there, but there was an Alabama on there. And I've got Tennessee fans all down in the comment section laughing and pointing and telling me about this 4-star from South Carolina. Dude, I don't care. I don't care. What, you're that excited about it? South Carolina wasn't even in the running for the guy. I can understand the point and laugh routine if you and South Carolina were battling over some guy. But no, that's not the case. Hell, even Clemson, Clemson didn't offer the guy. But Alabama did. So, I mean, are you getting in the Alabama comment section too and telling them, look who we got, look, y'all, look. No, you're not. So, just stop. Stop it. I know I give you a hard time, and I do that with good reason. South Carolina's eventually going to have to do something with this recruiting. They can't continue letting them come in here and take prospects from the state of South Carolina. This whatever this NIL collective is, the Spire Sports Group or whatever that's funding their NIL shit, apparently has a bottomless pit, and it's lined with money because they're buying anybody they want, and that's going to be dangerous down the road. I mean, and it doesn't matter, really what kind of head coach Josh Heupel is. If he has half of a brain and he can, get this kind of talent coming there because of all this NIL money they have at their disposal, then he pretty much can roll a football out there and win 11 or 12 games. That's what we're going to be looking at. And nobody really wants to look at that outside of Knoxville. So South Carolina's got to step their game up. Clemson got to step their game up. Other teams in the state have got to step their game up and keep this talent in the state of South Carolina and away from freaking Knoxville, because it's very agitating. And look, it doesn't ensure success for them. It absolutely doesn't. I mean, we don't know what Josh Heupel is going to be able to do with a loaded roster, because he hasn't had a loaded roster. He's had a roster of 3 stars and people that were passed over, people like Hendon Hooker, who he picked off the trash. And I don't mean to throw shade at Hendon Hooker. That's not what I'm trying to do. But picked him up like off the figurative trash heap from Virginia Tech and actually made something out of him. What's he going to do with these elite type players, though? I mean, is he going to be able to handle the egos? Is he going to be able to handle them with all the NIL bullshit? I don't know. I mean, that's something to ponder and something to think about. And I know y'all sitting there, well, you're just trying to spin it and look for some angle to where Josh Heupel's going to fail. No, I've never said that. I never said that. Never said I wanted that to happen. You never heard those words cross these lips. So anyway, I'm going to get on down the road here. I've got about another 15 minutes down the road to my next stop. But I thought I would check in with you folks and tell you to have a great day. And I will see y'all later. Appreciate it. Peace. And I'm out of here. And go Gamecocks. Woo!